I remember the exact moment. Everything in my life tilted sideways. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, and when I glanced over, her name lit up the screen. Leah, my wife of 7 years. The woman I honestly believed I knew down to her bones. The message she sent made my chest tighten instantly. Heading out of town with my boss. Don't wait up. At first, I actually laughed, one of those nervous, confused laughs, assuming she was joking. Leah was notorious for texting me random, playful nonsense just to keep things light between us. But this didn't feel like one of those moments. Something in it felt wrong. Cold, offbeat. 10 minutes later, the uneasiness digging at my stomach wouldn't let go. And that's when everything began unraveling. One small crack spreading into a disaster I never saw coming. We met in college. She was a lightning bolt, bright eyes, wild curls, a laugh that rolled across campus like music. I was the opposite. Quiet, awkward, loyal to a fault. Somehow we fit. Somehow it worked. Our marriage was steady and calm, predictable in a way I'd always found comforting. I truly believed I knew every part of her life. That one text shattered that illusion. I called her. No response. I texted again. Are you okay? Where exactly are you going? Still nothing. Time dragged until my phone lit up again, this time with a number I didn't recognize. Theo. Stopped searching for her. She's about to do something she can't undo. My heart sank. Leah never gave her number to strangers. And this message, it felt sterile, almost threatening, like someone watching from a distance. I kept telling myself I was overthinking it. Maybe it really was some boring work trip. So I made coffee, sat at the table, tried to distract myself. But by the time she came home that night, the whole house felt different, like the air itself had shifted. She barely said a word. Her hair was neatly pinned back. Her eyes wouldn't stay on mine. I tried to keep things calm. How was your trip? She finally looked up and said, Theo, I think we need some space. Space. After a single day, it hit me like a steel door slamming shut. I wanted to ask 100 things. Yell, beg, demand the truth. But the part of me still in love with her swallowed every word. I nodded, pretended I understood, pretended I was okay. The next few days drifted by like fog. She acted normal, cooking, laughing sometimes, but emotionally she was miles away. Her phone never left her hand. She whispered into it, smiled at messages I never saw. My instincts wouldn't shut up. One night, I opened her laptop. What I found made my stomach twist. Hundreds of emails, hidden plans, private conversations between her and her boss, Mr. Darcy. And these weren't work messages. They were intimate, bold, unmistakably romantic. The trip she mentioned? A lie. A perfectly planned getaway. I didn't confront her immediately. I wanted everything. Proof, timelines, details. Over the next week, I gathered it all. Receipts, reservations, messages. Enough to confirm the truth I prayed wasn't real. The woman I trusted had been building a deception, so calculated it felt surreal. This wasn't just cheating. It was manipulation. It was strategy. It was betrayal crafted in silence behind my back. I realized then I'd been sharing a life with a stranger. The breaking point came fast. I came home early from work. Something felt wrong. The front door was slightly open. I stepped inside, and there they were, Leah and Mr. Darcy. Together, caught mid-act. They froze. I froze. Silence hit the room like a punch. I didn't scream, didn't break, didn't even speak. I just stood there while my heart hammered in my chest, each beat louder than the last. Then I turned, grabbed my coat and keys, and walked out, because if I stayed another second, I would have shattered. Within minutes, I called my lawyer, my sister Mara, my best friend Hugo. Everything I did after that was sharp, fast, decisive. She had crossed a line she couldn't walk back from. When I returned later, the house felt hollow. She was gone. He was gone. But she'd left a note. You never understood me, Theo. You never have. I held that paper in shaking hands. Not from fear, but from the collision of anger, grief, and sudden clarity. This wasn't the woman I married. This was someone who used my loyalty as a shield for her lies. The fallout came quickly, emotionally, financially, legally. She never expected I'd stand up for myself. But I did. I filed for separation, shut down every shared account, changed every password. And my friends, my family, they backed me completely. Her life, though, it crumbled. Her affair leaked. Her professional reputation collapsed. And the man she risked everything for, he disappeared the minute things got messy. Weeks moved slowly. I rebuilt myself piece by piece. The betrayal echoed through every familiar room. But day by day, the weight on my chest loosened. I returned to old hobbies, spent time with people who actually cared, even stepped cautiously back into dating, learning myself all over again. The lesson hit hard but clear. Trust can fall apart in a heartbeat. But rebuilding yourself, that's where strength grows. Leia's choices destroyed her world, not mine. Her lies created her downfall. But they also pushed me towards something I should have had all along: self-respect. Standing up for myself was a revenge. It was survival. And now, when I look in the mirror, I don't see a broken man. I see someone who walked through the fire and didn't stay burned. Someone who learned love means nothing without respect. Someone who understands that lies always demand a price. Sometimes the most painful endings are the ones that finally set you free. Theo, standing alone in the quiet, finally breathed again. Leia's destruction wasn't his burden anymore, because in the wreckage she left behind, he found something priceless: the truth, the strength to move forward, and a life no longer built on deception.